right, welcome back, 7th grade. Let's make French fries. So the first step is cutting and soaking your potatoes. I have a few russet potatoes here and they're pretty large. So for me, I'm just one person. This one potato is going to be more than enough. At your home, you could decide how many potatoes you need to feed you or your family when you make this recipe. So I already talked about cutting potatoes in detail in our previous video. So if you're feeling unsure about knife usage, make sure you check that before you get started. You can also work alongside your family till you're really comfortable with using the knife on your own. So I have my potato here that's been washed and dried, my stable cutting board, a bowl of cool water, and my chef's knife. The first thing I'm going to do is get my claw in position and carefully slice off the bottom of the potato. This gives me a nice flat area to continue cutting. Once I have that, remember our fingers are always in the claw, and you're going to slice your potato into like large chips, about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch thick. When you get close to the end, if you're feeling less than stable, you can start your knife with your fingers pinched over the top, but then I would definitely move that hand to the top to finish that last cut, okay? Now, these could be a little slippery, so I do not suggest stacking them more than too high, but you can see I have a nice slice here. I'm gonna stack 2 layers together, get my claw and make sure that thumb is tucked in, and then go ahead and slice this into French fries. Now, the reason we want to soak these in water is to help remove the starch, okay? So all I'm gonna do is once I have these fries cut, is put them in a bowl of cool water. They should soak for about half an hour up to say 4 hours if you have the time. And what it does is it removes the starch and it helps your fries to get a little bit crispier and a little bit lighter in the oven. So you can see I'm just placing these in the bowl, and my fries are pretty evenly sized. It's important to try to get your fries as evenly cut as possible because the smaller fries are invariably going to cook faster and the thicker fries will cook slower. So if you want everything to be kind of equally crispy and delicious at the end of your cooking time, try to make everything the same size. So here I have my fries in the bowl. They're gonna soak in the water. Make sure they are totally covered so no air can touch the potatoes. And then I'm gonna leave these while I clean up my cutting board, clean up my knife, and wait probably about an hour before I get ready to put these in the oven. I'll make a second part of the video for that. All right, 7th grade, here we are. Time to make our French fries. It's been about an hour since I sliced these potatoes, and they've been soaking in just some cool room temperature water. I left them right here on the counter. I have already washed my cutting board and my knife, and now I'm set up with the things that I need for actually baking the fries. So I have a towel here, a large bowl, I have a baking sheet with some parchment, or you could use a Silpat or some foil, or nothing at all if you're ready to scrub. I have some vegetable oil, some salt, some Old Bay for after the fries are cooked, and my measuring spoons. All right, so what you will do first before we start mixing these fries together is take them out of the water and put them onto a clean dish towel. This is important because we want to make sure that they're not wet when we get them in the oven. Having them wet will really like steam the fries and they will not crisp up. And I know it's gonna be hard to see from far away, but my water is getting quite cloudy. And if you look at your water at home, you'll see there's a ring of starch at the bottom. It's almost like a little bit of cornstarch, but this is potato starch that came off and out of the fries. That's why we are soaking them, to get some of that extra starch out and make them really nice and crisp in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this bowl in the sink. And now I have my fries on a clean towel, and you just wanna make sure you really dry them off. Now, I have my oven preheated to 425, and my oven has convection, so I turned it to convection. You could set your regular standard oven to 425. You could turn it to convection bake at 425. You could even try these in an air fryer if you have an air fryer at home. Just keep in mind that different settings on your oven will cause fries to cook either faster or slower. So for me, they take about half an hour, but for you, they might take 25 minutes or 45 minutes depending on your oven. All right, so these are pretty dry. I'm gonna go ahead and dump all of the fries in the bowl, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I think this is just plain canola oil. So just measure that out. And the oil doesn't have to be exact. If you use more potato, then you can use a little bit more oil. Less potato, less oil. Okay, there's that. And I'm also gonna put a little sprinkle of salt, not a ton. You'll find a little actually goes a long way here. So taste them after they're cooked to see if they need more seasoning. And for the Old Bay, I'm gonna wait to put this on till after they are cooked. So here's my pan, and I'm just gonna use my hand to toss the fries with the oil and the salt and coat every single fry all over with oil, okay? Once they're thoroughly tossed, I'm gonna dump them onto the tray. And remember, I only cut up 1 potato, so it has plenty of room on this tray. If you are cooking multiple potatoes, you may need multiple trays. And this is because we wanna try to spread out these fries so they're not all touching and piled up. They get crisp because they're able to have air circulating around them and finish cooking that way. If everything's piled up, then they also tend to steam, and steamed fries are not crispy fries. So we're gonna spread these out in a single layer the best that we can. All right, and then we're ready to put this in the oven. So when you are putting this in your preheated 425-degree oven, make sure you're wearing your oven mitts, and you want this pan basically in the center of your oven, okay? If you're putting in 2 trays, you want those trays, the racks in the oven, kind of evenly spaced so they're not too close and they're both sort of near the center, okay? Once you get this in the timer, or in the oven, set a timer for 25 to 30 minutes and check on them. They may be just about done at 30 minutes. They may need up to 45 depending on how thick you made your fries. So definitely keep an eye on them when they're in there, okay? So I hope you have a great time making fries. I'll make a quick video once these come out of the oven. 7th grade, time to take fries out of the oven. I'm gonna start by turning my oven off and getting my pot holders on, my oven mitts. I wanna make sure that I always put that hot pan on top of the stove because I don't wanna damage my counter or other part of my kitchen as I'm removing them. I'm carefully opening the door all of the way and then moving my pan to the stove. So you can see I like my fries a little bit extra crispy, so I did leave them in here for a little longer. And I'm going to sprinkle them while they're still hot with some Old Bay. You could sprinkle your fries with any seasonings you like. Old Bay just reminds me of the beach and the boardwalk, and I really enjoy it. So these are nice and sprinkled. And then to take them off the pan, make sure you stabilize the pan with a pot holder hand, okay? Because I do not want you to burn yourself. But you can transfer your fries to a serving dish. And I'll share a few recipes for dipping sauces. There's really a lot of fun options you can do with just the ingredients that you already have in your fridge. Now, remember, you never wash a hot pan. So while you're enjoying these fries, let's see if I can get those, there we go. While you're enjoying these fries, leave this pan to cool 100% before you throw away the paper and wash the pan. I hope you really enjoy your homemade oven fries. Thanks for following along.